You're now listening to the Shift Training Show, where we're focused on positively impacting the quality of human interaction. Today is part 2 in a 3-part series where we're doing relationship Q&A. So Vaughn is going to take over from here. What do we got for part 2?
So part 2, we are on the topic of relationship dynamics.
Okay.
So this question, we're going to start with Jackie.
Okay.
She says, why do people stop putting effort into relationships?
Fascinating. That is a tough one because people have many reasons for not putting effort into relationships at some point. I'm going to let you take over from here because I have a lot of things to say.
Okay, so for me, I believe that people stop putting effort in relationship is because they become complacent and lazy. And they think that when they already got the girl, they already got the man, that's when they become lazy. And that is actually not the point. If you think about, if you have a garden and a fish pond, if you don't water your garden or you don't feed your fish, then eventually it will die. I think it's the same thing with relationship. If you don't put in the effort, what it needs in a relationship, then it will eventually end.
I think part of what you pointed out too is like acknowledging that a relationship is a living, breathing thing. It's filled with living, breathing people. So you're creating and maintaining something that's living. It's not a prize. It's not an inanimate object. It's not an achievement. You know, it's none of that. It's a living thing. So how proficient or comfortable are you with the idea of maintaining or taking care of a living thing, investing into a living thing for a long period of time?
100%.
So can I add some nuance for that really quick?
Yes, please.
So the reason why I said there's so many different reasons is because if you listen to this wonderful podcast called Where Should We Begin with Esther Perel, okay, you're going to hear all kinds of different stories and situations and hear why people did or did not do stuff that led to the degradation or failure of their relationship, and in some cases, how they're able to repair. You'll learn a lot from that podcast. Shout out to Auntie Esther for sure. But despite there being all these different reasons, to me, I feel like a handful of reasons that are consistent are, one, like we discussed, not really understanding what's going on and expecting it to be like a one-time meet my need, inanimate, non-living thing and not involving the other person. I feel like lack of effort may be for a few reasons. And one is just not realizing the reality of what you're dealing with. Two, not being ready to serve, but being so focused on what you're getting and receiving constantly versus what you're investing and how you're actually adding to the shaping and molding of said relationship. And then also sometimes it's the dynamics between partners. Like if you don't want me to do something, but you don't say anything to me and I do it like 10 times in a row, and then on the 11th time you complain, well, I didn't have any negative reinforcement along the way. So I'm thinking it's okay to do whatever it was I did those last 10 times. And now all of a sudden you're mad. So now there's friction because you didn't communicate your boundaries. You kind of set the expectation that behavior you don't want is okay. That might make a person shut down for a little while. Like there's all kinds of little things like that, you know?
Why do you think people sometimes they allow that behavior? Do you think they have shame about it, or they have some sort of like trauma? If they say this, they will not like me, or because that expectation will not create a deeper connection.
Yeah, I think fear is a big factor, and whether that fear manifests as like, I can't say it because this will ruin our connection. Like I know a lot of people are afraid to have a argument or heated fellowship or disagreement because they go, oh, it's going to make the relationship worse. And I go, only if you don't understand the process of repair. If you don't understand the process of repair, then that is true. If you make an effort to learn what the process of repair includes, then those conversations bring you closer together, and then there's no reason to fear them, right? So I would say, that's kind of a boundaries thing. I think someone who is struggling to communicate their needs understands that it is acceptable and that you should be communicating these things and being able to find or compromise, where's this middle ground, where can we build something together, and along the way, what is it we need to continue investing into this relationship? if both people don't understand, hey, we both want to be here and let's work towards this, and this is kind of what I need, this is kind of what you need, so let's figure this out together. Like, if that's not the energy, you're wasting your time. I just want to go ahead and give it a buck to you. If you're not doing that, you're wasting your time.
Yeah, I think that repair is actually a skill, so don't feel bad if it's hard in the beginning. So you will get better as you keep practicing.
Yes.
Now, the follow-up question to that is, why do people stay in relationships they're not happy in?
There's clickbait answers and there's real answers.
Okay, let's start with the clickbait.
Because you don't feel like you're worthy of something more.
Interesting.
There's a part of you that thinks you can't have something different. You can't have something better. You don't believe that there's something better for you.
No, that's true. I think most people are staying in a relationship because, first of all, they can't be alone with their own thoughts. I think there's a lot of shame. They have low self-esteem, low self-worth. Therefore, they would rather stay in a familiar pain rather than the uncertain. And like what you're saying, I think they don't believe in themselves that there is more into that.
Absolutely. And then the less clickbaity is it's simple science. The body just likes what it's familiar with. So even if it's a familiar pain, you know how to deal with said pain, so you're cool. If it's the possibility of a new unknown pain, your body's less likely to support that choice. So it's just patterns.
Interesting. Okay, and this next question is from Glendy.
All right, Glendy.
Her question is, how do you balance independence and being in a relationship?
That is a great question. The way that I view this, if you're looking for balance, is look at the way you spend your time. Like, how do you schedule your time? If balance is 50-50, does that mean 50% of your daily life goes to that person? Maybe not. Maybe that's not really the balance you're looking for. So I would say, first off, clarify what you mean by balance. Identify what it is that you're thinking. If you mean to be able to still invest in yourself without losing yourself, and investing in the relationship and not losing yourself or any of that, like if you want to be able to maintain both, I would say you just have to look at your calendar. You have to look at how you cut your time and what is the ratio that seems like a good fit for you. Try that, test it, see what you can do, see if it's good for your partner, and you guys pivot and adjust where you need to.
Yeah, I think it's all about time management, structuring your time, and having a Google Calendar is going to be helpful. It could be an example, maybe 3 days for yourself, 3 days for your partner, 1 day for your friends and family, things like that. And you could always, manipulate that however you want, just as long as you have to define what balance is for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so the next question we got is from Art.
Okay.
His question is, which is more important, the lover or the loved one?
Fascinating. You want to go first?
Yeah, let me answer this. I think for me, neither of them are important.
I agree.
think being in a healthy relationship, it requires both partner to be in the relationship. One might not be able to receive as much as they want, and one might not be reciprocating. However, if there's this imbalance, then it won't be working as much. It wouldn't work to the point where it's very healthy. I think about like batteries. If a device like a Game Boy, you need 2 batteries. If one of them are empty, then it wouldn't work. I think it requires both people.
That's a good analogy. That's cool. Yeah, I think equally important, both important, because whether you are the one doing the loving or being loved, that's supposed to alternate. That's supposed to cycle. It's time related. You know what I mean? Today it might be me. Tomorrow it might be you. Next day might be both of us. Whatever is going on in life, right? But both are important. That exchange is important. I think a lot of people tend to obsess over, I want someone else to love me. I want someone to love me. I want someone else to give me this feeling. And I think that's no good.
Yeah.
I think if you're chasing that and you're not filling your own cup whatsoever, it's going to be very hard for you to get what you're looking for, because 1, you don't even know what it looks like because you've never practiced it in your life. 2, you're looking for it outside of yourself and you're not creating it within yourself, which means you're not resonating with anybody who would have the capacity to do it. You're not in the same frequency. You're not in the same realm. You're in a different dimension. And then lastly, Even givers who have generous spirits, like I'm a giver, and I will give as much as I possibly can. But if I feel like, not even that I per se want something back, but maybe the love just isn't really appreciated. Maybe there reaches a point of entitlement where someone is just used to you filling their cup all the time. I myself can become resentful, and that means I waited too long to execute or communicate boundaries. So that's something you want to be mindful of, because you wanting to be the loved one all the time, that in itself will make you lose someone who is willing to love you, simply by not acknowledging that you need to also bring that love to the table. So I think both are important. You need to be able to do both. And if not, both people are important, and you need to be able to do both roles. And if you cannot, you're going to be taking a fat L no matter what.
Yeah, I think just going back to two things that you said, I think it's seasonal. There will be times your partner will be giving more, and there will be other times you might be receiving more love. I think there could also be a time where it's equally giving each other some love and support. And I think just understanding that dynamic is not always going to be equal and things like that. And what you said about the cup, I think that's very important. I believe that if your cup is empty and you start to give out more, watering more the other cup, then you're going to start to resent yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And then follow-up question to that is, would you stay if you get more love than you receive?
I have done that. I have also called myself stupid for doing that.
Ooh. Yeah, I think if that's happening, if I am giving more love to the other person for a long period of time, it's like a chronic thing that I'm doing. I think, like you said, it is stupid. Like, it's because I feel like I am self-abandoning myself. And I think this is the same thing what we said right now with the water cup. If your water cup is empty and you keep pouring out to other people or to your partner, then it will create resentment.
Yeah, and I would also say, like, it depends. Like, for example, there's plenty of times where my thought is I wish to gift love. I do not want anything in exchange. Like, I have no expectation. That's different. If there's an expectation created where the person is saying to me, I will give you back some water for this water you have given me on a day in which I have more water, I'm like, great, sounds good. Then when I see them with an abundance of water and everything's going well, and I say, hey, may I have some water? And they're like, no, not for you. Then I'm going, okay, that was stupid. I didn't see who I was talking to. I need to pay attention. So, yes, I have done so. I have sometimes resented it, but also even to this day, like, pouring out of my cup, I don't mind. I'm glad to do so. It's a privilege to be able to know that I have enough love to share with others. That's a blessing.
Yeah, great answer. And last question from Art. Would you stay if you're loved by your own feeling, but your own feelings are weaker? Let me try that question again.
Okay,
would
run it
you
back.
stay if you are loved, but your own feelings are weaker?
Okay, so I'm going to interpret that a little bit because I don't have the full context, so I'm going to guesstimate. Art, do you mean if someone is loving you more than maybe you feel like you love yourself? Stay. I can't say I've had the privilege, honestly. I've not had that privilege. But what I will say is, if I were somebody in that position, I would say you should be trying to stay as much as you can, evolve, learn, grow as you can, give what you can. I think that's a loving environment. That's a safe place for learning and getting better and growing your capacity to share said love. I think that if you are not feeling like you can love yourself that same way, there's a high probability that you're gonna sabotage or do something to like disrupt what's going on, because again, back to that not feeling worthy of receiving that just because it doesn't align with what you feel. And this is why I want to highlight something really quickly. You will hear this if you listen to this show beyond this episode, that there are times where I am very clearly saying you cannot believe everything you feel, because not everything you feel is true. So you might feel unworthy of receiving that love, but the reality is that person is giving it to you. So does that mean you're unworthy? No, it does not. Your feeling is wrong, and you need to adjust your behavior, your thoughts, everything in the world till you get your feelings to be more congruent with the reality of the situation, which is somebody is showing you that they love you, and it's a blessing, and you need to be grateful and do your best.
Yeah, I think there's definitely not some nuances on this. I think in my own personal experience, if my love is like the gap is so far away, I think it's important to sometimes end the relationship, because I want to be honest with myself, with my partner, and the relationship. And if I prolong this relationship, it wouldn't be fair.
Yeah, and I would also say it wouldn't be fair depending on what they're expecting, right? If they're expecting you to be able to match them, then yeah, you probably got to go ahead and say, I can't do it. But if that's not their expectation and they're just like, that's okay. I just want to give this to you. I want to be present with you. All right, that's different, because then that would be a matter of you just feeling guilty and not hearing what they're saying.
Yeah, it's definitely feels good to be loved by somebody, you know? So,
absolutely.
Okay, next question. Our topic.
Are we moving on to the next topic?
We're moving on to the next topic. This one is boundaries and trust.
My favorite.
Okay, this is from Maria. Her question is, she has a bunch of questions, so we had to condense it down to
Let's consolidate.
just one or two questions.
All right, what we got?
Her first question is, what boundaries should exist in relationships when it comes to friendships, coworkers, and behaviors that could cross into emotional cheating?
Whatever boundaries are necessary for you and your partner to feel safe in your relationship, period.
Bars. Well, I think as long as there is no secrecy that's going on in violating your partner's trust, I think you should know about that, right? Like, for example, if you have a coworker that you know you're about to escalate the situation,
Back up.
back up. And okay, so and her other question is, when should you introduce your partner to your family? This is an interesting question because
Yeah, go ahead.
no, it's because like when I was in a relationship, I don't know when is the time to introduce your partner to your when should you introduce your partner to your family? I think now, looking at it in hindsight, I think it is okay to introduce it when you are serious or you're committed to the relationship. You both have a vision to have that long-term relationship with one another and grow together.
I have a different perspective, similar but different. And the reason why I say it's different is because my perspective includes the perspective of the family members who would want to or not meet that person. So I know a lot of people go, well, there might be somebody in the relationship who's like, when am I going to meet your parents? And there might be somebody like, I'm a little hesitant on that. My parents are a little about stuff. Or both people might be quick to be like, yeah, meet my parents. Or there might be two people like, you don't never need to meet until we're getting married. Like, but to me, all of those perspectives are just based on the two people in the relationship, which is fine. But I go, if you're asking about family, then you need to be asking about when would be good for family? When would be a good time? When would it make sense? When would it be relevant, right? At what point will your relationship include or affect them? Are they curious? Is your family like not so, maybe they're culturally open to just meeting whoever it is that's in your life. And they just want to know who you're dating. Like, we just want to know who you're around. Like, maybe they're that kind of curious and maybe you let them all up in your Kool-Aid. Maybe your partner's like, I don't want to meet them and I don't want them in our Kool-Aid. Then you have to make that decision. But you have to realize that the family's 2 cents, if you're asking about them, comes into play. Like for me, like I have my sisters, I have female cousins, and I always be like, tell me about this fool you're talking to. And I want to know about him. I want to know everything about him. And I want to meet him so I can look at him and analyze him and see if I have to worry about him or not, But not until they feel like they're ready for that. Like I'm straight cooling. I'm chilling.
And we got the bell.
Saved by the bell. Hey everybody, cutting it really quick just to give a shout out to First Form. We're promotional partners with them and we love their stuff. Obviously, as you can see, we've got some First Form Clear Protein right here. Sensational. We've got vanilla, goes good with everything. And then Ignition goes great with both of these. That helps with muscle recovery. Magnesium for the sleepy weepy. If you struggle with sleep, magnesium, core 21 or 19, it's gonna get you right. And then for digestion, can't go wrong with the greens. They also have the reds. Shaker to mix it all up. Water is a must. And gear bag if you're a gangster. So if you're interested in purchasing anything from First Form, please check out our link in the description. And now let's get back to the show. So yeah, I think that's something to keep in mind is the family's 2 cents as well.
Yeah, I think that's so true. I think it all depends on the dynamic of your family and how you feel about it.
Yeah, facts. All right, what's next?
And that concludes our last question.
That was
for
it?
Part 2. Yeah.
That's part 2. Boundaries and trust. That's it.
That is it. I mean, unless if you want to
me see
expand on one of the question of Maria.
All right, let's see.
Actually, we have one more. Arturo.
Okay.
Cannot forget.
Thank
is
you.
it possible to be too honest in a relationship?
Yes. Done. Yes. No. Yes. The answer is yes.
I think, I believe that being honest and being transparent is always a good thing when it comes to relationship. However,
There's a difference between honesty and transparency too.
right, but I think there is a timing for that, Like, for example, let's say if I went to a comedy show that one of my friends just did, and that was his first time, and if you ask my 2 cents, and I thought it was terrible, and after the show, he asked me, how's the show? I cannot just say, oh, it was terrible. I think there's a timing to that. What you can do at that moment is, hey, I really enjoy being in here, seeing you for the first time. And then hold your feedback or your criticism the next day, because they have this heightened emotion and they might be very sensitive. I think there's always timing. I think it's the same thing with relationship. There are times where you don't need to be too honest at the moment.
I think also not just timing is a factor, but also delivery. There are tactful ways to deliver a truth.
No,
And then there's non-tactful ways to deliver a truth.
that there is truth where it's done like to sabotage the person, and there's also a delivery where the honest truth is done by care.
Yeah, an easy example for this, I'm gonna use a teaching example because coaching is usually an easy way. If somebody is doing a particular movement and they're asking me to look at it, they're like, oh, I think I got it. Can you take a look at it? And they do it and I go, almost. We need to transfer your body weight here, lift a leg here, something like that, right? And they go, oh, okay, got it. So that's me giving them the honest feedback. They're asking me for feedback. They're asking me for my input. So I'm telling them what it needs, so they can get to the goal. I could just say, no, that's wrong. And they'll be like, well, what do you mean? And now we have to,
I'm tension now.
Yeah, I'm still gonna bring it to why. But if I kind of just lean towards trying to provide the information in a way that's useful versus just being like, oh, I'm just gonna deliver it because this is what I think in my head and this is how I feel. Like it would be like delivering your feedback naked, just straight up giving your honest, naked opinion versus I might need to actually dress this in a way that is more receivable or presentable to the person asking me. There's tactful ways to deliver that.
Yeah, that's more receivable.
And there's also things that you can only talk to with your guy friends. And you cannot talk to it with your lady friends. Don't listen to her. Don't listen to your wife. It don't matter. Don't listen. She's lying to you. She will not be she will not understand. She will not be accepting. It's a lie. There are plenty of gangster female relationship therapists that will tell you this, that it's a lie. Do not listen to her. Oh, you can tell me anything. Men, you cannot. Do not.
Hey, just be honest, you're fat. Just kidding.
Don't do it. See, look.
Don't say that. See? That's bad.
However many ladies just got upset, just know that's what would happen to you, gentlemen. All right? So don't do it.
Don't do that. That's a red zone.
All right, cool. Yeah, I would say closing thoughts for that last section in regards to boundaries and trust. I have 2 notes. 1, boundaries, practice that. Understand what it means to have healthy boundaries and practice. 1, you need to learn about it. 2, you need to practice. If you need help with that, we have coaching services. We can help you with that. Or you can go on your own adventure and find the things and learn the things and practice yourself.
But that will take some time. So you want to accelerate your progress.
Yeah, so always holler at a coach. Number 2, trust. I think trust is one of those things. We have an episode, I'm sure, somewhere in there on trust.
Right.
But for me, the easiest definition for trust, this makes it very easy to me, is I trust a person to be who they show me they are.
Right from the beginning.
Whoever it is they show me that they are and they continue to conduct themselves, that's what I trust them to be. And if 6 months later their act drops and they change and they show me a different person, I believe they're that person. I don't say you change. I'm not worried about a switch up. I expect human beings to change over time because 5-year-old me is not the same as current me. 10-year-old you is not the same as current you. I hope not. So change happens and that's to be expected. So I trust people to change. I trust people to be who they show me that they are. And I don't trust them to fulfill some role or some need or honor some whatever thing unless we have both said, I agree to this and we will honor this and we say it together, then I am now holding them accountable for their word. And at the same time, if I know that they keep their word about 60% of the time, I'm trusting them to honor what they said about 60% of the time.
60%, I guess, good enough.
It ain't good enough, but I can tell you this, I'm never disappointed by what other people do because I already knew to trust them for who they showed me they were. So if trust is a concern for you, I recommend you think about trust like that.
And that is it for part 2.
All right. If you guys have any questions, if you're interested in coaching, you can holler at us directly. And if you're interested in First Form supplements, the link will be in the description in the show notes. And we'll see you guys in part 3.